Welcome, everybody, to the Jeremy Womack Show. Am I good? Because I can't hear myself. All right. Welcome, everybody, to today. I have Dawn Welch on my show. She is with Vemma, which has these really cool products, anything from uh, energy drinks to nutritional type supplement drinks to the whole nine. And it's something that I want to start doing more on my show. I want to have, more companies and people like Dawn because it's network marketing that she does, and I've done that for several years myself with a variety of different companies. I think Dawn has touched on a few herself, and I want more to come in here and experience how this type of a medium can work for them in getting their message out. So welcome, Dawn.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad that you came today, and you
I'm
brought us
excited.
some kind of cool samples.
I did.
So I'll touch on those in a second,
Okay.
but I wanted to kind of give people a bit of your background about, where you come from and, what your mindset is when you wanted to start doing network marketing. Okay. So you're from Southern California.
I am.
Where in Southern California?
San Diego.
Specific, like in the
I
beach
grew up.
area, or?
I grew up as a valley girl in the San Fernando Valley.
Uh-huh.
In 1994, I finished community college and put myself in a car to San Diego.
Okay.
Put myself through nursing school.
Wow.
Met my husband there. Had my first baby.
Yeah.
And you couldn't buy a condo in San Diego for $500,000, so we wanted to raise our family and
Sure.
we moved to Vegas.
Wow. Well, you definitely can do that here.
I know.
It's about a third of the cost in Las Vegas as it is Southern
Yes.
California. Although I miss the beach, I'm sure you do too.
We can travel to the beach.
Yeah, that's what I've also said is that it's a 4.5 hour drive
Right.
or an hour
Right.
flight. So you just pile in and you can go out for the weekend if you want.
Right.
And one thing that most people don't know, because most people are coming from Southern California to Vegas, is that if you're going the opposite direction, there's really no traffic. If you're driving out there on a Friday night and then
Right.
coming back here on a Sunday night, you're looking at the other way and seeing all the traffic, and you don't have to deal with any of it.
Nice.
Do you get to go out there often?
Not as often as I'd like to. I'm so busy that it used to be my kids love to go out and visit my cousin and friends out there. Um, I'm hoping to travel more this year, so it kind of takes away from that. But yeah, I mean, it's so easy for a weekend just go.
Sure. Well, you have done some traveling. You've gone to
Yes.
Walt Disney World with your family.
We did last year.
That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. I haven't
Yes,
been there
it
yet.
was.
Disneyland I've done a lot.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sure you've seen my post. But as far as the Walt Disney World, I haven't gone there yet, but I hear it's
It's
awesome.
quite different. Yeah.
Yes. Many parks. There's the Animal Kingdom and all that stuff. So
I'm surprised by now you haven't actually grown the Mickey Mouse
I know,
ears.
right?
I should.
As many times you've been
I
there.
should. I should just wear a hat with my name on. I've never had one of those hats.
The Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
hats?
Yeah, you have to get one.
I've got to get one.
Well, why don't you own one by now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Bucket list, right?
Yeah. Well, anyone wants to send me in one, they can. I don't know if it's sized specifically for people's heads or not, but and then you're also going to be going to Turks and Caicos soon.
Yeah.
So have you ever been in Turks and Caicos or
No,
anywhere else like that?
I've been to the Bahamas, to
Okay.
the Atlantis Resort.
That's pretty cool. I've seen ads for that.
It's incredible.
Wow.
I mean, there's one thing now. My children are 7.5 and 10, and so
Okay.
we have the means to travel more now, and they're at an age where they can appreciate it and have fun. They're not 2 and 4,
Right.
where we're not even appreciating it if they're
Because you're
too
running
little.
around chasing them.
So now we are planning many trips this year, and that's the first one next month.
That's cool. You're I can.
I'm like, I can't believe
don't,
it.
Don't let Dawn's
It's only a
reservedness fool you because it can tell she's really excited.
You can see it's written all over her face, though.
Written
She's
all
got
over her
this
face. She's like-
smile.
She's like,
It's
yeah,
Turks
it'll
and
be
Caicos."
great. So that's awesome. I've never been there, but I've seen plenty of travel channel shows about it and stuff. It looks pretty awesome.
Haven't.
Anything that about it specific that stood out to you that says we have to go there?
No, we've been looking at it for a while.
For a long
yeah,
time?
I
Okay.
mean, a lot of people of our friends have gone and said Grace Bay is the beach, and
Uh-huh.
it's in your lifetime it has to be on your bucket list. You have
Wow.
to go.
Okay. Well, that might be something for Tiffany later. You should tell her about. That's what people are putting on their bucket list. Tiffany has a show later, and she has the Las Vegas bucket list. So
Mhm.
Oh.
that's why we mentioned that. So
Well, we've been to Cancun several times and Hawaii, so I want to try new places.
Yeah, it's a
I
natural
want to see,
progression, right?
yeah, and the kids, I mean, all they can do now is absorb it and learn.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's something I think I would have liked to have as a kid, is be able
Right.
to go to those places. You know, if my parents were in some sort of a job or work that allowed them to do that,
Mhm.
whether it was because they were financially able to, or just because they had their job take them to those places,
Right.
I would have liked to. But my parents didn't have that kind of thing. So, darn. Maybe now though. I travel a lot now though. So, as you get older, I
That is
guess.
good.
So, but what allows you to do that is the network marketing,
Absolutely.
and so we will touch on that. But the reason why uh, I'm assuming you wanted to be in the network marketing industry is because of the fact that you did go to school for nursing, and the whole idea about nursing is helping people
Exactly.
and being able to take what you know and directly affect somebody else's life with that knowledge.
Absolutely.
So, a lot of people have an idea of what they want to do with their life. I think even like I was listening to Tony Robbins and talking about one of the things that he wanted to do. He wanted to be a rock star, and he wanted to touch people's lives and all this stuff. But he never thought that he would be where he is at now. But all the things that he always wanted to do are in that.
Exactly.
He rocks stadium crowds with tons of
Yes, he
people like a
does.
rock star and helps people out and all that. So all the things that these dreams that you thought when you were younger or you're, in college of saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, you might have this one, a tunnel vision of, oh, I have to do this specific thing in order to reach that goal. And that's not the truth. Is if you look at it from a broader perspective of what you actually want to do, then you can go out of nursing, because you're not doing that anymore, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And go in helping people a different way.
Absolutely.
So, what was it about? Because you did nursing for what, about?
Since 1996.
Okay. And then you stopped when?
I stopped last year because of my own personal health issues.
Okay.
I did it alongside my jobs, my
Okay.
network marketing, and it was a time for a new chapter in my life for several reasons.
Okay. So you did it for a long time, and you did help people
Yes.
in the health field for a long time. And from what I remember you telling me, that you met somebody that introduced you to this whole other way of helping people. So give us that little story. You're sitting there, you're doing nursing, helping people. You meet somebody, and they say, "Well, here's something else that you can do to help people. Let me introduce you to it." How
Yes.
did that go? Because everyone that is in this kind of field of network marketing knows how they were introduced to it at the very beginning,
Right.
as an idea, a different way to look at how they're currently doing their life. So how did that go for you?
Well, I never do anything halfway.
Okay.
And so I was in a mom's group, and I was pregnant with my daughter. My son was 2.5, and I was secretary. I wanted to do more. I didn't want
Sure.
to just go to the play dates. And then I became vice president and then president. And there was another woman on the board that gave me a catalog to the skincare that she sold. And I saw it was a way that she's a stay-at-home mom. She doesn't have a job where she works 9 to 5 and has to answer to a boss.
Right.
And she's able to do a lot of things. I want to do that too. And I loved the products that she gave me, so I signed up right away. I mean, it was the next day.
Wow.
So I signed up.
There wasn't
And
a
I've
lot of
never
selling that she did. She just hands you a
I know.
catalog.
Could you imagine if
Okay.
she had sent me something that I didn't like, where I'd
Sure.
be today?
That's true.
That wouldn't have been good.
That's true.
But I fell in love with it immediately. A lot of network marketing, what people see out there with direct sales, are people change, just like everything around us changes.
Sure.
People change.
Sure.
Your spouse changes. People get divorced. Your companies change, and they change their policies and procedures.
Sure.
They change their compensation plans. And you can either change with them or change without them and move on. And for me, I just recently, along with my health issues, started a new chapter in my life that so far is just skyrocketing and exciting and extremely healthy.
Right.
And so it's a way for me to tell people, "Hey, you can do this too."
So the woman introduces it to you
Yeah.
by giving you the catalog
Yeah.
and says, should really think about coming on board with this.
Yes.
When was that? 2000 something?
2006.
2006. And you had had you heard of it
Never. No one had ever mentioned to me what network marketing was,
at all?
what
Wow.
direct,
Okay.
direct sales. No one ever approached me.
So you hadn't heard of things like Avon or
I knew what Avon was, but I thought, well, ladies sold it.
yeah, that's true. Or Tupperware parties
Yes.
or whatever. Those are for the old ladies.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and you weren't an old lady. So you get this catalog, you see it, and the introduction is I can then stay at home, hang out with my friends, introduce them to new products, and earn money.
Absolutely.
What then? So you started the next day. How successful were you with that particular one?
I was very successful, but not as successful as I'd like to be.
Okay.
And for my own reasons, I moved on.
Okay.
And I found another company through a friend I met still through network marketing. And again, became successful. And it was 4 years. And things, policies and procedures changed and people changed and they went in one direction. I decided normally the decisions I make are for the better of my family.
True. That as they should be.
So this is not the the direction I'm going to go in.
Right.
And a friend of mine who's extremely successful, I researched this product, Vemma, for 2.5 months with my husband. And I wanted to know everything I could know about it before doing anything. And
Right.
most of the number one reason was my health. And jumped on board, and it's been just crushing it. Yeah.
You're very happy about
Yeah.
it. So you saw this as a potential for you to still stay home with your kids
Yes.
and go to their games, go to their activities, chaperone events, do all these things that you might want to do as a parent, but still provide income to the family. It wasn't just like this hobby that you
Oh,
did,
absolutely,
and
yeah.
you weren't. You actually were contributing,
Yes.
being able to be a mom and that at the same time.
Yes.
What is it that you find are most people's hang up about the industry?
People quit before they succeed.
Right.
You have to fail your way to success.
That's a good way to look at it.
You have to. You have to find your niche, and you can't give up. Too many people, will try for a little while. For whatever, there's
They
lots
got a
of
couple of
reasons
no's
why.
and that
Yeah,
was
they
it.
got a couple of no's, and they're like, "Oh, I can't handle this,"
Right.
and they quit.
I think that's
They
for most
give
people.
up. Mhm.
Yeah. They those couple of no's out there make them stop the progression that they were doing. Maybe they were, like the keyword you mentioned was crushing it for a bit, but then they got a couple of no's and they're like, oh well, then I have no more people to talk to, and then
I hate no's.
So do I.
He's terrible with no's.
But you keep going till you
You
get
know
the
what?
yes.
You
Right.
can't wear your heart on your sleeve, as
Right.
some people on my team, which I'll talk about, say. You can't get. This isn't a business. We change people's lives, but you can't get emotional about it.
Right.
So somebody doesn't want to do my weight loss shake, and they want to do something else. That's fine, but somebody out there does want my shake,
Right.
and I'm going to give it to them.
Right.
We have a team, and that was what really brought me to it. It's called the A team, and the A stands for your attitude
Mm-hmm.
and your activity. It's two things that you can control.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
You have control over that. And this team does something which I never had in the other 2 chapters of my life, where every day of the week, there's something there to help you, whether it's a Ustream video. I mean, social media is huge today.
Sure.
3-way calls, question and answer, videos. The system does everything for you. And when they say they have your back and they want you to succeed, they have your back.
Right.
They're
They're
there
really
to help
there for
you,
you. Right.
and they're training me to help those that are joining my team. So I didn't have that before. So a lot of people give up because they don't have that either.
Well, that's really what's unique. You were mentioning social media and all that, and I was mentioning to you what we did here at All Talk with Ustream. That's what we're going out on live right now. So it'll also get to the point where there'll be a couple different people on that thing at the same time,
Absolutely.
and having a weekly conference call or something like that would be definitely ideal with this kind of a situation. So, but so you do all the other ones, and you just because I was always curious because of my own dealing in network marketing is the fact that a lot of times, like you said, things change and you move on. But people, when you're in it, you're so into the thing that you're selling to somebody, and then if it doesn't go your way the way you want it to, and you move on to another one, then you go, well, I have this, and then people are like, but you were just promoting that. Now you're doing this. What about that? You were so it help me with that, because it's something I've always been curious about. And since you're, I think that you're probably more versed in it than I am. How do you handle that situation where somebody is saying, well, you were doing this before, now you're doing this? So does it dilute people's mentality of what they think you're actually fully engaged with?
I'm sure it does to a point, and people have asked me about it. There was one night I had over 80 messages in my Facebook, and there's no possible way that at this time at night that I could answer all of those, but I'd be happy to tell you why I left. And when you're selling a product, the people are buying it from you.
They're buying you.
Yeah, they can go online and order Vemma from anybody. There's hundreds of thousands of consultants, but you want to be on my team and order it from me, and I tell you why. And there's, once they know, they might be dealing with, they were in a car accident and their neck and back were jacked up, and they come to me and I give them some of this, and they haven't had a Motrin in a month.
Sure.
Or whatever,
Okay.
and now they have a story.
That's true.
Of why and the product works, and that's why I switched.
That makes sense.
Right.
Because that really is what it is it's people's stories. So that's what
Right.
one wants to hear. They want to know that, okay, you're not going to know if anything's going to work for you until you start using it. But then to give you that little extra push towards maybe giving it a shot,
Right.
you hear other people's stories and what they've gone through. Maybe you had, back pain, arthritis, or
Absolutely.
whatever the case may be, and now you don't. And so maybe that works for that person, but maybe it won't work for the other, but maybe it will help something else.
Yes.
So I think it's a great model. You have the Robert Kiyosaki's of the world push it, the network marketing. I think even Warren Buffett gives it a nod as well. And it's a way for you to own your own business. Sometimes I think people are fearful of getting into it because they don't want to sell something to their friends and their family.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's that whole adage of mindset. It's not the same thing, but like if you let a friend or a family member borrow money, and it changes your relationship. So if someone wants to reach outside of that, and with social media they can do that, but what is another a way that you could suggest people to reach out to other people to be involved in the company with them?
You need to be on a team that helps you do that.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many outlets with how to do it. It's online marketing. There are people out there, my friend says, that I love talking on the phone.
Sure.
Some people, they can't talk on the phone.
That's true.
But there's someone on our team that said, he used to be, nobody ever approached him about it. Nobody ever put it out there. He didn't know what it was.
Right.
And he was going through bad times, and he would cry and pray to God that somebody would save him, And he says there are so many people out there that every night they go to sleep and they pray to God that there's a way out, that it's raining, it's pouring, and they're going through so much, and they just want that one angel to come into their life and change it.
Right.
And you can be that person. I mean, if you have a product you believe in, that's what happened with me.
Well, when you were first introduced to it, that's what,
Yeah.
the lady handing you that catalog was that
I
person
didn't want to
for
go
you.
back to work. I did not want to go back to what I dealt with, the people I dealt with,
Right.
It's very sad. I didn't want to be away from my kids. I didn't want them to be latchkey kids and come home. I
Or
wanted
grow up
to,
with a nanny or something.
No, I didn't
Right.
want someone else, the money I
Raising
was
them.
going to make, pay for someone else to take care of my
Sure,
children.
sure.
And I wanted vacations too, so.
Well, that's the key one,
Right.
vacations right there for me. I don't have kids. But you looked at how you wanted your life to go, and you decided that you wanted to change it, and for yourself. And I think we've talked about before on the show is that whatever it is that you're paid at your job, your company has to make at least twice that amount off of you to make it worthwhile for them to even hire you. So here's something. I think it's hard for people to be entrepreneurs, especially if they've been raised in the mindset of, okay, go to work, you work, 9 to 5, you get a check every 2 weeks, and then you're happy because, I did my job and I got paid for it, yay. But whatever you're making, 25, 35, $50,000 a year, your actual value is twice that.
Right.
So can you go and do that same thing for yourself? I don't know, because maybe the service you're providing is specific for that job. But you can take those same skills that you have and apply it elsewhere and then become your own boss. Does it mean that there's going to be an ebb and flow? Sometimes you do really well, sometimes you don't. Sure, but I think the controlling of your life is better, in my opinion. I mean, that's why you do it.
And what if the company you work for closes?
Yeah, you're always dependent on what happens. I mean, someone might argue the same, being devil's advocate about network marketing and what have you. Okay, but if you have the two same scenarios and they both can close, once it closed, what do you do when you worked for somebody? And you immediately go find another job. With the other, like Dawn has, like a network that she goes, well, this one's not doing doing well anymore. Let's go over here and do this one because this one is doing much better. Correct? I mean, is that
Absolutely.
good assumption there?
I mean, I had to research it for 2.5 months. It wasn't just the product. It was
Sure.
I researched the people in the company, who their sponsors are, the owners. You have to look at everything, and there's a lot of negative out there also.
Sure.
I looked at everything, and the compensation plan. Everything has to be better, and I think for me, it was just it was screaming out at me.
Right.
I got to do this. Every day it was something more positive. It wasn't, yes, there was negative out there, but every day it was something more positive. I was finding out about it. And there was a girl on our team that graduated Purdue, came back to Las Vegas a little while ago with $80,000 in student loan debts.
Right.
And Vemma does not say don't go to school. They're not
Sure.
telling young children, they call it the Young People's Revolution, YPR.
Right.
They're not saying don't go to school and don't do what you want to do and get a career. Absolutely. But this can pay for your way. Don't come out $80,000 in debt.
Right. Come out.
They have a
not-
car program, and you can, when you reach that, and it's not hard for a young person to do. If they had this, it took me 10 years to pay off my nursing loans.
Right.
If they had that back when I was in my 20s, I mean, life would be so different now.
So it allows, then there's another way to look at it
Yeah.
for that student or whatever, that it allows them to have another line of income. And George and I have talked about this before, like multiple sources of income, another line to allow them to not only pay off that loan, but then really do what they are passionate about, whatever they went to school for. If you went to school for what you are actually passionate about, rather than somebody saying you should go and do this because
Right.
you'll make a lot of money. Go to school for something you're passionate about. You can pay off your loans doing some other business, like a network marketing one, and you're working at the same time, but it's not taking too much time out of your day.
Absolutely. I mean, college students don't have a lot of time.
That's true.
And what we usually say to someone is, if I could show you how to make $200 to $300 a week working part-time, would you be interested in learning more?
Right.
Obviously, I mean,
Sure. Sure.
of course you would,
Yeah.
They got to pay for their books, and a lot of other college students that are jumping on the boat with Vemma, they're retiring their parents.
Wow. And I see that
I mean,
a lot
it's not-
in different, yeah. I mean, it's a way for you to have a business, sell a product, and retire yourself, retire your parents.
Right.
But also, like you, when you were doing nursing, going into helping people do the same for other people.
It's changing lives. I mean, that's what my sponsor always says. We're in the network marketing. People, it has that little cliche, but it really is about building relationships. And over the last 7 years, I've built relationships. Some were tested last year,
Sure.
and some weren't, and that's all right.
Right.
Onward and upward.
That's what you have to do.
You know.
So let's dive in a little bit about Vemma.
Okay.
We've talked all about you and why you do this, why it's even important for you, and but so you researched the company. What were those top things that, since you have experience with other companies in network marketing. What were the compensation plan you've mentioned, the owners, the quality of the product, what it did, but what was there a final straw for you that said, okay, there you go, that's the one that said I should go over here?
Everything that I looked at was positive. The most positive was the team that I joined and the support that I would get
Right.
in climbing that ladder of success. These were successful people. So I know that they're successful. They're not somebody that says, I'm doing really good.
Right.
And I see them over there filing bankruptcy.
Right.
These are actual people that are doing extremely well, and they
Yeah.
continue to grow every year. They've had fallbacks, but they continue to grow every year, and
Sure.
I've watched them for 7 years.
Right.
I want what he has.
Right. Well, and you bring up a good point, and that's what I've mentioned to other people before about even network marketing in general, is that your team is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So your team, or your upline as it's called, the people that are willing to, not only because they like you and they think that you're a nice person, but they're willing to help you because you will directly affect their income if you're successful.
Yes.
So those upline people that are really your true upline right above you will reach down and pull you up, basically, to get you to be better for those reasons. But it doesn't necessarily mean that there are nice people in the company, but if they're not, if you don't directly, if your income is not directly related to theirs, there's not a lot of incentive other than being a nice
Right.
person for them to help you.
Yeah.
It isn't to
You're
say
just a number.
you're just a number. It isn't to say that they won't help you, but
Right.
it's like 2 or 3 above you, and that's your direct one. And if you don't have those people there that are, it's great if you've got one, but then that one person is just being overwhelmed with everything, and you
Absolutely.
need more people
Yes.
to assist you. And I've recognized that in my own, is that like my upline, she's great, but the only problem is that it's her, and then some of the other people that we deal with aren't necessarily directly related to us. They're so far removed, either they're so far ahead over here
Exactly.
that it's just like, well, I'll give you a little bit of my 5 minutes, and it's understandable. They're not being rude. It's like,
Right.
imagine that they have 1,000 people that they have to do that with. So having your direct upline and then maybe 2 or 3 above that, then I think, and those ones are all good, then I think that's a winning
Absolutely.
hand,
You
really.
have to. Our team says, one team, one dream. You all have different sponsors, but we're all in it together. We all have the same dream. And like my sponsor, he's my business partner. He wants me to surpass him. He honestly wants me to pass him up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be plugged in with your sponsor too. A lot of people blame a company, blame a sponsor for their failing and then quitting. You have to be accountable for yourself.
Sure.
And you have to stay plugged in with those people. If one isn't working for you, go to the next one higher up.
Right.
Go to the next 10 higher up.
Yeah, you do need that assistance, because it'll get you over that hump.
And go to people that actually drive the BMWs, not the, yeah.
The ones that
The
actually
ones that actually win the trips.
the ones that have the BMWs, but
Absolutely.
they don't have cloudy headlights too. They're making enough money where they are able to fix their headlights. That's just a little side note for somebody that may be listening, but
You've
doesn't.
seen a lot of those, or?
For one person in particular.
Okay, just checking.
So Vemma, it was your team, the quality of the product that got you into it, and which is completely different than the one that you were in before. Side note.
Completely different.
Completely
Had
different.
nothing to do with my health.
No, it didn't. It was smelling good.
Smell good.
Yeah. Who
People
doesn't want
walked
to
in
smell
my
good
house
though?
and said, "Gee, your house smells good. What is that?" Here you go.
Right.
That's what it is.
And they're like, "Oh, I got to be on board."
Yeah, it was easy. Yeah.
But now you're like, it's great to smell good, but you want to feel good too. So let's talk about some of these products, okay?
Okay.
All right. So which of these should I talk about first? These two or one of these?
Well, first Vemma, the little one.
Okay.
This is a sample. It's 2 ounces.
Okay.
We have big bottles, and which I buy, or the little ounce. But that is your daily shot of vitamins in one daily shot. Like my brother will come over for Thanksgiving dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll reach in his pocket and he'll pull out like 8, 9, 10 vitamins.
Sure.
And at the time, this Can you hear my stomach?
I can hear your stomach.
And
Yeah, I think the mics heard it
I
too.
wondered what that was.
We have headphones on too, and we heard it. Let's do this a little bit higher. Can you see that? No, George.
I better drink one.
Let's give it to George. There you go.
So my brother pulls out, 8, 9, 10 vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
and my family's always been big on vitamins. And I'm sitting there at the time, I'm researching Vemma, but nobody knew it. And I'm sitting there going, isn't it easier to take a 2-ounce shot that tastes like orange juice every day, and your kids can take it too,
Right.
versus popping pills that you might choke on and that you might not be getting all the other stuff.
Sure.
Like my kids kept getting sick in October, which was around the time I was researching it, and they'd get better, they'd go to school, and they'd get sick again. My kids had never had an ear infection before.
Right.
Never been on an antibiotic. Like, why are they getting sick? They don't get enough of what they need in their 3 meals a day, which they actually
don't
have
have enough
7
of
meals a day.
Right. They don't have enough of
They
the
don't have enough
vitamins from
no,
that. Right.
they don't. And my children are not going to pop pills. And I don't like taking pills.
Sure.
Well, don't they say,
You
too,
know?
that the pills actually don't absorb into the system
No, they
as
don't.
much as a liquid would?
Exactly. And the key ingredient in Vemma is the mangosteen.
The witchcrafted whole fruit mangosteen.
The mangosteen works on inflammation in the body, throughout your entire body. So people with rheumatoid arthritis, any kind of inflammation, like I said, the woman that hasn't had a Motrin since January.
Right.
And I mean, she was seeing chiropractor after chiropractor, people with knee problems. So this is the Vemma formula with all the nutrients in that.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, me and my family take 2 ounces a day, and we got our vitamins.
And this is the 2 ounce that you take a day.
And the Vemma formula is in all of their other products. The energy drinks,
Okay.
which is sweeping the young people's
Sure.
revolution today. You can go out there and buy Red Bull and
Mhm.
Monster, and it's crap you're putting in your body, and you can mix it with vodka too, and pretty soon you are going to have. That's what that is. It has caffeine in the energy drinks.
Sure.
You're going to have a heart attack soon.
Right.
It is extremely bad
No,
for
I've
you.
heard
Red
people
Bull and
having
Monster.
it. Yeah.
And it's horrible. So I'm glad that young people out there today in all these colleges are drinking Verve versus Red Bull and Monster.
So Verve, which we'll bring out here in a second, has the same stuff in it that the Vemma shot does.
It has
so
the Vemma formula in it.
okay. And
But
it's vitamins, essential minerals, mangosteen, like you mentioned,
Yes.
and aloe. So tell us a bit more about the mangosteen, since that is the one that makes it.
That's the one fruit
Uh-huh.
that, Vemma has their own scientist, and he goes to work in his little lab and came up with the Vemma formula.
Okay.
That's the vitamins for the daily, and then they put it in all their other drinks. We came out with coffee on March 1st.
Okay.
It's iced coffee. It's a 15-ounce can, not your regular. It's twice those sizes.
Don't
Okay.
tell Carol that.
Oh,
I
she's going to love
swear,
it. Coffee
I'm-
with Carol.
I'm thinking of giving up my Keurig because it's a 15-ounce can. You keep it in the fridge, and I loved iced coffee.
Uh-huh.
It tastes like a latte.
Really?
But I'm getting my Vemma formula of nutrients at the same time.
So basically,
I'm going
like
to drink my coffee anyway.
so you're saying that all of the products that are out now and will probably come out in the future will
Have the Vemma
have
formula.
have the
in it.
formula in it, and that's the base of everything else. So people might say, "Oh, that's great. That's a two ounce shot of the formula, but I want something different. I love energy drinks. I love
Right.
coffee. I will love this." So you're like, "Okay, great. We're going to take that and combine the two, and then make something."
They've also partnered with Chris Powell and Heidi Powell, and they have their Bod E line.
Okay.
I mean, it's shakes, your cleanse, and their your app on your phone, everything. It's almost as awesome as Weight Watchers,
Right.
where you're held accountable for everything, but it's got the Vemma formula in it.
So someone takes this formula
Mm-hmm.
and has one every day. They're getting those vitamins that they need, but then you need to pair that with a good diet and
Absolutely.
working out. So then the argument would be, well, then can I not just do that?
Well, you could.
Right.
I mean, we've all seen like children today who are at the risk for type 2 diabetes because they're so fat.
Sure.
And it's not good for their self-concept either. When they get older, it's going to be devastating for them.
Right.
So why not start now? I mean, a lot of us work so much also, for a lot of my friends work full time.
Right.
They can't make the meals that I can make for my children. And
Sure.
even though I'm there doing that 7 times a day, even when they're at school and
That's
they
a
get
lot
a
of
healthy,
meals.
oh man. they're still not getting all those nutrients they need.
Right.
And I'm there. So imagine these families where the kids come home and they're alone and they're eating chips,
Chips and candy bars and all that
I got a
stuff.
We've all
question.
been there.
Can you Vemma too much?
No, you can't.
Okay, because somebody may
Overdose?
ask that. Somebody be like, well, what if I really love this stuff and I drink like a couple of them a day or...
I wouldn't suggest that.
Right.
I absolutely would not suggest that, just as in any vitamin.
With a lot of vitamins,
Yeah,
anything.
any
Including
vitamin.
water. You can
Right.
overdo it on water.
More is not better.
Right.
There's a recommended dose. More is not better. And
So, and I had never heard of, and maybe I'm just naive, I'd never heard of the mangosteen before. So, and that's what really makes this unique.
Yes.
Where is that found?
I do not know.
Oh.
Another country.
Disneyland.
In another
Right?
country. It's in
That
it's in Florida. I was just curious because I had never heard it before. I'm like, wow, this is interesting.
It's from one of the 54 countries Vemma is in.
Okay. There's a picture of it on the bottle, though. I
Yes.
think that's it right there, right?
Yes.
And aloe. So
That's what Vemma stands for, VEMMA. Vitamins, essential minerals,
it does stand for that
nutrients,
now.
mangosteen, and aloe.
Look at that. It's right there. on the
Looks like
bottle.
Vemma, but it's pronounced Vemma.
Hence the V. That's some good marketing. They made the V where it sounds different, orange. So you would
It tastes like orange juice.
perfect. I think George, do you want one of these?
Right now?
Yes, you're gonna have one right now.
Okay.
Because these are ours, right?
Shake it a little, yeah.
it a little.
Break open the cap.
We're both gonna have one.
I
George
had
is
it in
gonna
my
have one.
fridge.
I'm gonna have one.
And tell me what you think.
I'll tell you what I think. Why are you holding it down there while you're shaking
I
it?
got to hold off on mine, but you can drink yours
Why
right
do
now.
you have to hold off?
I take medicines. I got to make sure.
Okay, got it. I'll have mine.
Well, another thing is, before I did this with the research, I was diagnosed last February with a thyroid disease.
Okay.
And before I was going to jump on board with it, I took the key ingredients and emailed them to my endocrinologist, which I have to see every 3 weeks,
Right.
and do blood work and make sure my levels are right. And I said, can someone with my medical condition take this? And I'm thinking of doing this as a business opportunity.
Right.
His answer was absolutely. You couldn't have found something better.
Wow.
And see, that's a good question
Because
to
it's
ask. 'Cause
all right there.
a lot of people are on so many pharmaceutical drugs
Right.
nowadays that, you, like me, I'm like, well, I got to hold off just in case and check.
Right.
Because there's so many things that just kind of interact as, and,
Absolutely.
and stuff like this, when you're going out taking the, the other pharmaceuticals, then people are so worried you'll take one and another and find out that, it's just not as good as something like this could be. You wouldn't have had been stuck on that stuff in the first place.
Absolutely. And with vitamins, you have to be careful with your thyroid, because there are some you can't eat. Like, there are certain foods you can't eat. It will
Right.
throw everything
Get
off.
Yeah.
The one thing that really bothers me about, pharmaceutical drugs and stuff is whenever they have those commercials and they're like, well, it's going to help you with this. And then these are all the side effects.
Yeah.
You poop too much.
Yeah. Exactly.
You just fall asleep at the wheel.
The ones that-
Your
And you see
penis
the
goes limp.
side
All that
effects.
stuff.
The ones that kill me is the ones that say we help prevent heart attacks, but you could die instantly from a
Right.
heart attack.
Right.
Right. You're like, I thought
Exactly.
you were supposed to prevent
And they
that.
say that really fast, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in at the very end.
Yeah.
Small print. Da-da-da-da-da. And that's the thing that bugs me the most about it is, if this is so good for me, that's great
Right.
that it's going to specifically target this one thing, but it's not helping
Yeah.
me with anything else.
Absolutely.
So let me try this.
Well, I also had, in January, I had radiation for my thyroid, and that was the last step of a year of hell that I had gone through. And he took it in one shot. My kids take it in two.
Oh, I'm a big guy. Well, it's not too orangey. It has an orange taste to it.
But it's smooth, I'd imagine.
It's smooth. What is that guy's name? Billy something. Yes, it's very good. I don't think there's any real aftertaste or anything.
And could you take that every morning and get all your vitamins?
Yeah, that was easy.
Easy.
That was easy. I just
Better than
chugged it.
sucking down a pill, huh?
Yeah. Well, there are some that I'm taking this morning that were more like herbal type pills, and
Right.
just water and take them down. But that
That
obviously
tastes
went much
better.
Yeah, this tastes better, and they went down. It went down quick and all that. So
Yeah, we got that on film.
yeah, you did. You're like, wow, look at how quickly he
He's
takes
like,
that.
gulp, it's gone.
Well, I wanted to get my full spectrum of antioxidant vitamins, so I got that. So I only would need to do one of these a day. One of these a day. Okay. So then we have two other things. One of the things I'm going to give to George over there. So
George wants the tea.
he wants the tea. So this is Verve, is it showing up right? We'll let George do it. That's the tea. That's the one George is getting, so you can go ahead and keep that
We all
in
know
there.
tea is good for you.
Yeah, tea. Is it a green tea or?
I don't know.
You know,
I
no?
mean,
Okay.
It's just a tea
it's
tea.
just
It's
tea.
a tea.
It's the tea that's good for you and tastes good.
Okay.
And it's got the Vemma formula in it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't drink coffee and they never have.
Yeah, I'm not much on
I don't
coffee.
understand that, but see, I am. So I want the new mojo
Right.
that Verve came out.
Right.
And I'm going to get my coffee in the morning. I can have it cold, hot, but I'm getting my vitamins at the same time. Versus other people, you don't want coffee, you can have tea.
It does have
Exactly right.
natural caffeine as well, which is 100,
Absolutely.
120 milligrams.
I can't drink because with the thyroid disease, I had heart problems. You cannot drink the Red Bull and that I would die. My heart will stop, but I would be shaky.
Wow.
I'll admit, I shared half of one. It was a Rockstar. That's what it was. It
Okay.
was Rockstar, and I shared with
Which
my
is
friend.
double.
No sugar Rockstar.
Sure.
And I had half of one. It tasted pretty good. Not as good as this because I like this taste better. But I couldn't stop shaking for the rest of the night.
It'll get you
I was scared
sometimes.
I was going to die.
See,
It'll
I,
get you.
I can't take that stuff. I have heart problems
Yeah.
also. They're saying no caffeine, no this, and
Yeah.
I could take one of them and probably just pass right out here right now.
I've had a lot of caffeine in my life. I was a big Mountain Dew junkie for a long time, and then I went to
was
the
too.
Red
Wow.
Bull.
Yeah.
But I think it directly correlated to my own health because my appendix burst, and I think it was directly related to that. Having
Too much Disney.
No,
be.
having too many of those energy drinks in a day, But we'll also mention this because we have a few minutes left. So hold this one up, George, for
That's
me.
bold. And that is what most people say that is their favorite. If you had to pick one Vemma, which would you pick? Well, I have so many.
Right.
I like to maintain my weight with Chris and Heidi's shake every morning. I like to do the
Sure.
cleanse once a week. And I take my vitamins every day. But man, at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I'm tired. I want my energy drink.
Sure.
And I want my vitamins. I don't want to be shaken. I got to be at the kids' soccer practice. Or, last night I was dying out, and I'm going to be there for 3 hours. And in the morning, there's a 3-hour field trip at the Children's Museum. You got to
Sure.
be awake for that.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
healthy,
Right. And also, you were mentioning the other ones made you shake.
Oh, yeah.
Compared?
No. And it tastes
Nothing
good.
at all?
Never.
Okay.
No.
But you get that. Did the one that made you shake also gave you energy, but the side effect was the shaking. So it tasted good.
It gave me energy for about an hour, and then I dropped.
crashed.
So
But
you had
yet
enough
my
energy.
heart wouldn't stop.
So you had enough energy to worry
Yeah.
about whether you were going to die from a heart attack.
Yeah. This is just
That's
mellow.
great energy.
Right.
Like, the students
drink.
that are drinking it, they can get through all their tests. I mean, when I was in nursing school, I got 4 hours of sleep a night.
Sure.
I wish they had that back then.
Right.
Every day you have a test. There's finals, there's midterms, there's
There's
everything.
everything. And you want to be
Yeah,
prepared.
Yeah.
So these are the two different flavors, correct? You've got the tea, which it tastes like tea,
If someone likes tea.
like a tea and the formula mix. And then this is
Your healthy energy,
healthy energy. Verve.
Verve. And that
So-
one's bold.
And this one's called bold, and that one's called just tea.
Party.
Party. Oh, look at that. Where does it say bold? This is just. Oh, it says at the bottom. Now, what are you mentioned the shakes. You mentioned there's a cleanse. I've always been concerned about cleanses. I mean, people who do this as a cleanse and then it doesn't do anything. I expect. Sorry to get a little graphic on you, but I expect if I'm going to take a cleanse that I'm going to be on the
Bathroom.
in the
Yeah.
bathroom just
All day.
just clearing it all out, just saying please, just everything that might be up in there, just get out.
Wow,
And
that's not graphic at all.
no.
No, it's not. I've seen
But-
so much worse.
George liked it, but most don't do that. So
This will.
this will.
My very first customer that tried it before I did, I was going slow with all the products, and because I had to see my results,
Sure.
she said, the one thing is, she goes, I'm not going to do the cleanse on a date. She works 9 to 5 somewhere, and she had to keep running to the bathroom. She goes, I'll do it on the weekend
Right.
or when I'm at home, even if at night, even if she has to wake up 10 times during the night. But yeah.
Sure. I want it cleared out. If I'm
But
gonna.
who doesn't want it? I mean, how easy?
Sure.
You just it tastes like that, and you drink it. It's not.
Oh, it tastes just like.
Yeah,
that
they
does?
all have the same taste.
And I noticed the
Interesting.
tea is non-carbonated. So, because some of them actually have that carbonated
what?
taste to them, and it's just
Sure.
not.
It tastes like Tang.
Does it? Totally cool.
You hear all about that. now you have something to keep you going for the rest of the
That's
day.
what I do. That's right. Because I'm gonna hold on to that
I'm
one.
gonna go clean my house.
I'm gonna do it right before the
I get a text.
other shows.
I can't handle everything today.
I'm shutting my phone down.
I'm shutting the phone down. Facebook. Well, I'm glad then we had Dawn in, so now you can keep going the rest
Yeah,
of the day.
I'm gonna right before the shows kick in. I'm gonna about
it
the
right
bottom of the half hour. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just take it then.
Do it right
You
before
know-
Keep going.
Stim Show. That'll be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that one later. That one's gonna be awesome.
You know how long it takes to clean my house?
You just
4.5 hours.
Really?
I gotta have my Vemma.
You-
Wow.
Dang. That's a lot of
Yeah, I would-
cleaning.
yeah.
4.5 hours
Come
to
to my
clean the
next
house.
party.
7 meals a day for each kid.
Wow. How do you
You're
keep
an
up?
animal.
I cry.
She
I
cried.
pray every day. You know what, people? There are people that are lazy, and there are people that, even last year when I was going through everything, you got to get up every morning and take on the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yesterday's gone.
You can only look forward.
You
That's
know,
for sure.
one thing my sponsor says is there's 3 things that people out there want, that everybody wants. One is love, whether it's from your pets,
Yeah.
your friends.
Goldfish,
Everybody wants
everything.
love,
Right.
right? They're cute. Everybody wants love. The second thing is freedom. Freedom to travel, if you want to travel. Freedom to be your own boss. And the third is security. I mean, go to people that say they have financial security and see if they really have walked
They
the
really
way
have
they
it, yeah.
talk, and they really have, go see their house and see if they really have that, see what they drive.
Yeah, the ones, the network marketing companies that drive around and they have their Toyotas that say earn $3,000 a
that
week, and it's all on
sign on their car,
decals
yeah,
and
yeah.
a beat down car, and you're like, yes.
But
I'm-
Vemma, man, if you want
gonna-
their BMW,
Yeah.
now you can pick whatever car you want, as
Okay.
long as it's under 30 grand. I'm getting a red Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want them to pay for the car, it's a nice little thing on the side.
Nice.
Mm.
That is cool.
Looks good.
George is getting excited.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna get one of those smart
We'll
cars.
sign
with
George
it.
up with the A-team.
Right? Well, I want to thank Dawn for coming in
Thank
today.
you, Jeremy.
Dawn Welch, if you want to learn more about Vemma and talk with Dawn, you can go to her website, Dawn Welch. That's DAWNWELCH.Vemma, spelled VEMMA.com. If you want to learn more about her too, and just want to click on the link instead of just spelling that all out, you can go to thejeremywomackshow.com, and there is a profile of her there. So again, thanks for coming in, and I really hope to see more of you.
You will.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. And George will let us know tomorrow or you can watch the Stim Show.
Watch the Stim Show tonight. Yeah.
Oh, yes, and check out Tiffany Masters today, 3 p.m., her show Waking Up in Vegas. So proud of her. So thanks, guys, for hanging out, and have a great day. Bye.